Hello guys! Today's question of the day is, what about yourself do you dehumanize? The best way I could describe dehumanizing something is taking the fundamental parts that make it up, or the vitality of pretty much anything, any aspect of yourself. This means yourself, your emotions, thoughts, sensations, and basically taking the positive fundamental qualities about them and it leaves it more of in a dead space or a dead weight. And the reason why this is important is because I think this will definitely have a lot to do with perspective with other people. When we do not like other people, we're basically viewing them through a perspective that is very limited. If we do not like ourselves, we are basically looking at ourselves in a perspective that is very limited. Now, we have trained ourselves to only think of ourselves only having one way of being, and when we kind of stray away from this, it makes us feel out of control. And control is basically wanting to feel safe and contained. And some people view contained as something that is being nurtured. So what happens when we dehumanize either people, places, ourselves, or thoughts, emotions, or sensations, we tend to want to place them into a jar. Any qualities that we have were given to us for a reason. So this quality that you might have, or multiple qualities that you have, don't want to be contained anymore. So they end up becoming extremely human to you, or very, very real in your everyday life. And this is another form of, if you suppress something, it's going to come up bigger and bolder. So qualities don't necessarily, nobody has all positive qualities. We have negative qualities, or aspects of ourselves that we don't necessarily like, but it fuels the positive qualities. So if somebody has a quote-unquote negative quality, that they have a short temper, or maybe they have a negative quality that they are not in the present moment. Obviously they have acquired these qualities because in their life or for a long period of time, this action has brought them some sort of benefit. So when I find that people have a very difficult time expressing themselves with anything really, either mostly with thoughts or emotions, or they can't quite get to the root of what is going on, chances are they have dehumanized something about themselves so that they are not able to express it. So, a lot of the work that I have been studying and doing on myself, all of the work that I create from a space of your inner voice. And I feel like personally it has much more positive benefits than things like inner work or shadow work. If these aspects or types of modalities work for you, I think that's really great. But I feel personally that working with your inner voice is a connection to your heart space. So a lot of times, or most of the time when I have my days off, I do a lot of inner work, inner voice techniques. Basically, doing a lot of listening to my inner voice and making sure it feels seen and heard and understood. And I feel like that very much helps other people in their daily lives, because the majority of people actually do not feel really seen or heard. And what I mean by this is that people put on a persona, and it starts out as a positive trait about themselves. But as they move forward in their life, they tend to become not seen or heard, and it's very difficult for them to express how they feel, and if they do, their voice is kind of met with someone that either doesn't understand or has a different perspective, or they are not seeing what they're trying to validate very clearly. So I like to use the inner voice because it's more of a clarity where you as the host or the person is communicating back and forth with your inner voice, and it makes it so that you have a better relationship with yourself. So today's exercise was, what about myself and what about yourself do you dehumanize, and how can you positively make it so that that particular aspect of yourself is seen and heard and understood? And also, how can you bring it more vitality into your life? So that's the question of the day. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you would like to sign up for my email list, I am creating more artwork as well as auditory content, and you can subscribe on my website. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Spotify, Eleph Myrrh. And if you would like to book a session with me, please go to my online website at calendly.com, or you can also book one on my website as well, and I will leave all of this in the description box below. I look forward to working with you, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video.
Myrrh has many healing properties. It has been used for its restorative, cleansing, and calming properties. Myrrh has also been used to slow the decay of the deceased. Myrrh Technique processes information through the heart. The heart is the organ, or one of the first organs, to process information first. The information is sent to the brain, but the brain cannot process information correctly because the messages are encoded in intuition and pictures. Myrrh Technique is unlike traditional modalities. We process uncomfortable events, emotions, or sensations through compassion and connection with internal guidance, or our heart. We discover we have our heart. We discover our heart and how it views us. We can take steps to communicating with our heart through sensations and communication techniques. This also helps us step into our self-worth.